Hi, everybody. I'm Max, and I'm going to be talking to you about our research project titled Enhanced Esports, Community Perspectives on Performance Enhancers in Competitive Gaming. Scandals surrounding enhancement have been around since the inception of esports, and every couple of months, there's a new scandal with some player using or abusing some drug or pharmaceutical. We thought to ourselves, what does the community think about enhancement and enhancer use in professional gaming? To answer this question, we tried to draw on three different data streams. First, we had a Reddit scraper where we searched the top 500 posts and their comments in a lot of enhancement and competitive gaming specific subreddits. Second, we had a questionnaire that we tried to advertise on those subreddits, pending moderator approval, of course. And we had the comments on those survey ads sampled as well and analyzed them. With this data, we tried to answer 5 research questions. I will touch on each of those questions in this talk, but feel free to ask any questions later on or read the paper for more information. So research question 1 was, how do online communities talk about performance enhancers in the context of esports and gaming? 2, do users in online communities disclose enhancer usage? 3, what are the perceived reasons for enhancer usage? 4, the perceived prevalence for enhancer usage? And 5, how willing are users to enhance their performance? And if so, in which circumstance? Research question 1 was about how do communities talk about enhancement. And there are 6 broad themes: health concerns, giving and seeking advice, the effects on play and play experience, use in professional play, motivation for use, and joke remarks. It's interesting to see that there's a lot of looking and giving recommendations in both enhancement and gaming subreddits. Further, there's a lot of positive advice and positive experience being given out in those subreddits with regards to enhancement effects on performance and play experience. Additionally, quite a lot of people talk about their use of enhancement in professional play and what the consequences of that may be. We were also interested in research question 2 about the disclosing of enhancer usage. It's important to mention that we never asked participants about their enhancer usage. So we were quite happy and surprised that in all our data sets, we found equal number of people unprompted and willfully disclosing enhancer usage. And this to us means that A, this is evidence that content analysis can serve as a valid method of gaining in the wild insight, and B, willful disclosure of sensitive information can be achieved through the assurance of anonymity and recruitment of platforms such as Reddit. Research question 3 dealt with the perceived reasons for enhancer usage among pro players. It seems that most people think that stimulating the mind is the most likely reason for people to use enhancers. However, opinions differ from enhancer to enhancer. For example, brain stimulation, there's a lot of people that don't have any opinion about it, which may reflect less familiarity with the enhancer. It's also interesting to see, for example, that for accepted and non-accepted drugs, higher social pressure components can be confirmed here. And this social pressure, especially for the drugs, can be a danger, but it can also be an avenue to combat unhealthy forms of enhancement. Research question 4 deals with the perceived prevalence among professional players for enhancer usage. It can be seen that people think 1 in 2 pro players uses pharmaceuticals or accepted drugs such as nicotine, alcohol, and marijuana to enhance their performance on a regular basis. Further, up to 1 in 4 professionals is perceived to use socially non-accepted drugs such as speed, cocaine, or meth, or brain stimulation to gain an advantage. It's also interesting that 4 in 5 professional players are perceived to use food supplements, or energy drinks for that matter, as a form of enhancement. Especially high sugar energy drinks with a lot of caffeine can potentially be dangerous health-wise in the long run. This may also lead to a general lack of trust in professional players and influence how people see people winning tournaments. And the perceived prevalence may also influence the willingness to use enhancers. So for example, if somebody thinks, oh, everybody's using it, so why shouldn't I use it? Research question 5 concerned the willingness to use enhancers. And I just want to point out a few things here. Firstly, it seems that caffeine, food supplements, or anything considered natural, quote unquote, is the top thing people are willing to use. Further, people are willing to use it if it's medically necessary or within certain limits. So if it were legal in a tournament, or to come back to the social pressure component, if everybody else was using it. It's also interesting to see that there's more or less an equal number of people saying, oh, I'm definitely going to use everything, or I don't care what I'm using, and people saying, I will never use enhancers. Nevertheless, our study has a few limitations. The Reddit scraper, we only looked for specific keywords. So if there was something in the data that we didn't look for, we couldn't have found it. For the survey, we had a very skewed gender distribution towards male participants. And also, although we had 112 individuals that self-identified as at least playing on an amateur level, we can't really say anything about the professional player scene and what they think, given the data we have right now. And for the ad comments, it's only a very few comments and a very select group of people that participated in the sample and in the survey and then decided to comment on our post. Nevertheless, we think we can draw a few conclusions from our data, especially given that across all data streams, we pretty much have the same pattern. First, there's various performance enhancers that are perceived to be used in all levels of play, and participants from all levels disclose willingly their enhancer usage. Second, participants are aware of some of the inherent risks, such as health risks, addiction, and legal action that could be turned against them. And there are many reasons to use enhancers. Open questions may be for the future: what is fair, what is not, who decides that? How can the environment be made safe for athletes, both mentally and physically? And how could illicit performance enhancement be enforced, if at all? With that, thank you to all my collaborators. Without you, this work would not be possible. No research is ever done in a vacuum. And if you have any questions, remarks, collaboration requests, funny pictures of cats or whatever, please send them my way. I'm always happy to reply. And I'm just going to leave this slide open and the next one for you to read.